On the news tonight, President Tinubu visits Buckingham Palace, meets King Charles III. Plus, Ogun State government approves 2 days of duty for workers. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu Ode News at 7. I am Ijebu Ode. Glad to have you with us. President Bola Tinubu has met with His Majesty King Charles III at the Buckingham Palace for a private meeting.
He has highlighted the enduring and cherished relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. This will be the second meeting between the duo after they first met in Dubai at the COP28 Climate Summit last year. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, revealed that the latest meeting was at the King's request. Both leaders discussed global and regional matters of shared priority, focusing on urgent and complex challenge of climate change. President Tinubu and His Majesty also explored opportunities for collaboration in anticipation of the upcoming COP29 summit in Azerbaijan and the Commonwealth Heads of Government meet in Chagom in Samoa. Our President Tinubu reiterated Nigerians' firm commitment to addressing climate change in a manner that aligns with the country's energy security goals, whilst affirming Nigerians' readiness to adopt global strategies for sustainability during the dialogue. And the two leaders shared ideas for innovative approaches to climate financing and funding, expressing mutual interest in strengthening partnerships by harnessing Nigerians' leadership position in Africa and Commonwealth.
Moving on. The Ministry of Interior is developing modern border security management system that will improve security in the country and check impersonation of Nigerian citizenship. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that Interior Minister Olubunmi Tunji Ojo was speaking at a forum to strengthen the ability of government agencies to track and curb terrorism financing.
Terrorism is a global crime truncating socioeconomic well-being in parts of Nigeria. Combating this security threat requires disrupting both local and international sources funding the illicit act to curb their ability to recruit and carry out attacks. This forum, organized by the Office of the National Security Advisor, the Nigerian Army Resource Center, and the Ministry of Interior, highlights federal government efforts in improving border security to curb transborder crime and other related offenses.
A lot of ills perpetrated by so-called Nigerians, when we looked at the documents that they possessed or they presented for such identity fraud issues, we realized that most of them, they're not Nigerians. We've created a solution to clean up our passport acquisition process, automate the biometric harmonization process with NIMSI.
Security challenges continue to evolve, placing huge burden on security and law enforcement agencies in the country.
The task force on terrorism financing, a lot of people are not aware that it is in existence. What is required now is better coordination and better synergy amongst all those who are involved. Yeah, the synergy is improving, but we need more. Without the synergy, we cannot be working in silos.
While the government is harping on a whole of a society approach in tackling insecurity, experts at this event are advocating for a viable and sustainable funding mechanism to effectively manage border communities. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now to some legislative reports. Senate has rescheduled reconvening of plenary from Tuesday 17 to Tuesday 24 September 2024. In a statement, the Committee on Media and Publicity explains that the postponement is to enable the legislators continue engagement with constituents on key issues. He reassures that the National Assembly is committed to good governance and will continue to use legislative framework to fine-tune policies of government for the growth and development of the country. And on the House of Representatives, The House of Representatives has shifted resumption from its annual recess by 1 week. House spokesman Akin Rotimi says the House will now resume plenary on Tuesday, September 24, 2024, 1 week away from September 17, 2024, initially communicated. Upon resumption, the leadership of the House is expected to inaugurate the new board of the Public Complaints Commission and its joint Senate and House ad hoc committees on the petroleum industry investigation. Members also used this period of the recess to engage their constituents on critical issues of concern and undertake oversight of ministries, departments, and agencies of government. Still on the House of Representatives, the House says it will strengthen oversight of Nigeria's electricity sector to ensure that safety standards are not compromised. Chairman, House Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations, Abubakar Gumi, at a briefing in Abuja says a policy document that will enhance safe, secure, and qualitative electricity service delivery in the country is being put together to be unveiled at the next Nigeria Electricity Supply Industry Safety Conference.
There's issue of enforcement, and it is a collective effort. One organization cannot. If SON allows substandard cables to come in, it's not necessary NEMSA would know, but Lacan people that are at the end users would always know that this is substandard products. Now, are they speaking with NEMSA? Are they reporting cases to NEMSA, or are they just applying them and use on clients that don't even know what is genuine or not? Now, this is designed to address that. We want all the stakeholders to be speaking to one another.
He listed challenges of the power sector to include installation of electricity equipment by non-licensed operators, as well as the production, marketing, and use of substandard electrical materials. Away from legislative matters, with flood ravaging some parts of the country and Borno as it is being the latest, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has deployed a rapid response squad to the northeast states to strengthen surveillance activities. This follows the health risk associated with flooding. The Director General of NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, disclosed this while giving an update on the center's nationwide efforts on this development. More on this with Oluseye Adeagbo.
Nigeria continues to grapple with reported cases of waterborne diseases like cholera, diarrhea, and hepatitis, as well as emerging ones like the mpox outbreak. All posing a significant threat to public health. Flood water heightens health risks, making people vulnerable to infectious diseases, chemical hazard, and injuries. The Nigerian CDC Director General says his agency has been coordinating national responses and support to devastated flood areas, with the latest efforts focused on Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
Flooding also have the health consequences. Flooding can increase the number of diarrhea cases, it can increase the number of cholera cases, gastroenterology and typhoid cases. That's why it's very essential for us again to address this issue. Both states now should get ready, especially in Borno State where we have this. Our staff are working with NEMA now again to help address these issues.
The NCDC mpox epidemiological summary as of August 2024 indicates suspected cases have increased from 834 to 1,031 in 34 states of the Federation and the FCT, with 67 confirmed cases recorded across 23 states and the FCT without fatalities. Akwa Ibom and Enugu states are leading in the mpox charts with 8 cases days each. The Nigeria CDC also updates that ongoing Lassa fever outbreak has seen over 7,973 suspected cases and 168 deaths across 28 states, while cholera has claimed 216 lives in 2024.
As we're having a downward trend in Lassa fever and meningitis since we've deactivated the EOC, we also do know that in the next couple of weeks and 2-3 months, because this diseases are seasonal, we are likely to be seeing increasing cases of those diseases again. So it is now incumbent on us to prepare now, to start preparing for situations and strategies that will not allow us to see as many of those cases as possible this next season. But what we are trying to do now is increase the number of laboratories all over the country to build their capabilities to be able to test for mpox.
Another request by the center is a strengthened collaboration of key players in human health, agriculture, and environment sectors under the One Health approach. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA.
You are watching NTA Ijebu ode news at 7. The news continues shortly. Don't go away.
NTA Ijebu ode, your heritage station.
Nigeria Television Authority, NTA Ijebu ode Heritage Station. A station that updates you on latest information, news, people day-to-day activities. We promote Nigeria culture. We bring to you educative program and talk shows for young and old. We give you latest updates from the world of sports. We also bring to you updates from the entertainment world. We are the best among the rest. We are available on StarTimes Channel 103 and UHF 63.
NTA Ijebu ode, your heritage station.
Welcome back. Following the hike in the pump price of petrol and its attendant impact on transportation costs and the general standard of living, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has approved 2 days off duty per week for officers on grade level 01 to 14, while officers on grade level 15 to 17 are to maintain 1 day off duty a week. A memo by the Ogun State Head of Service, Mr. Kehinde Onosanya, explains that this gesture is aimed at casting the burden on workers who now face significant challenges commuting to work, and will translate to a substandard relief in enhancing service delivery through a more monitored, a more motivated and energized workforce. The head of service urges all accounting officers to immediately implement the policy in their respective MDAs to ensure that the day off system is scheduled in such a way that service delivery is not compromised. Governor Dr. Abiodun had in July 2023 introduced the 1 day off work policy for all grade levels, and the current extension to 2 days off work for grade level 01 to 14 is to further reduce the financial burden on workers and increase productivity. A collaborative effort by the National Orientation Agency (NOA) and sister agencies is expected to ensure every child in Nigeria has access to education, health care, and other essential services. Annie Daniels reports that it was the general consensus of the aforementioned agencies in Oshogbo, the Osun State capital, beg your pardon, during a birth registration awareness program. The report.
Certificate of the children. So, but because they did not do it then, they will now rush to the National Population Commission. And as our practice is, we don't backdate, we don't do, so the day we register is the day we record in our database. So when they now take the certificate to the embassy will now be questioning why was the child not registered when he or she was newly born.
That is why the National Orientation Agency, in partnership with the National Population Commission and UNICEF, organized this all-important event to bring to the consciousness of parents the need to ensure their children are registered at birth. Resource persons here say by registering a child's birth, families ensure that their children are recognized by the state, which is the first step in protecting them from abuse, exploitation, and statelessness.
And no matter where they give birth, their child must be registered, must be recognized, must be given an identity, so that government will be able to plan, will be able to include them in decision making and policy planning.
There is a need for them to get a birth certificate for those that falls under the category of age 0 to 5. Yes, we might not know when our child is giving birth to because we are illiterate, but we can stick to a particular date. You can choose a date for the child, and whatever date you are choosing for the child, make sure you stick to it.
If adequately adhered to, resource persons here and those elsewhere are optimistic that every child's future will be secured. In Osogbo, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
That report from Osogbo wraps it up on tonight's edition of NTA Ijebu Ode News at 7. Up next is the news translation in Yoruba. I am Iyabo Wale Eri. Good evening.